Survivor Series has given us shocking betrayals, impossible comebacks, and moments fans still argue about today. From WarGames chaos to all-star elimination wars, the last 10 years delivered classics that shaped WWE. These are the top 10 Survivor Series matches of the last 10 years. At 10, Goldberg vs. Brock Lesnar. Survivor Series 2016. When WWE announced Goldberg vs. Brock Lesnar for Survivor Series 2016, fans expected a long, brutal fight, especially after their infamous WrestleMania 20 disaster. Both men returned with something to prove. Lesnar was in the middle of his unstoppable beast incarnate run, and Goldberg was coming back after 12 years away. And what happened wasn't just shocking. It became one of the most unforgettable moments of the decade. The bell rang, and within seconds, Lesnar shoved Goldberg into the corner. Big mistake. Goldberg responded with a spear that dropped Brock instantly. The crowd went crazy. Lesnar tried to get up. Goldberg hit a second spear, this one even harder. Before anyone could even process it, Goldberg lifted Lesnar into the air and delivered a jackhammer. 1, 2, 3. The entire match lasted 1 minute and 24 seconds. Nobody expected Brock Lesnar, the man who broke The Undertaker's streak, to get destroyed in under 2 minutes. But that was the point. The shock, the nostalgia, the impossible becoming real again. This moment didn't just revive Goldberg's career. It reminded every fan why wrestling is at its best when it surprises you. At 9, Team Bianca Belair vs. Team Damage Control. Survivor Series WarGames 2022. Survivor Series 2022 marked the first ever women's WarGames match on the main roster, and WWE made sure it felt historic. Team Bianca Belair consisted of Bianca, Becky Lynch, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and Mia Yim stepped into the double cage against a fully unified Damage Control, joined by Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley. The match opened with Bianca starting alone against Dakota Kai, and for several minutes she had survived every wave of attacks until her team evened the numbers. Damage Control used the advantage perfectly, isolating Bianca and turning the structure into a complete trap. Io Sky delivered the match's defining moment, climbing to the very top of the cage and hitting her trademark moonsault, wiping out nearly everyone and shifting the momentum. Rhea Ripley wreaked havoc whenever she entered, using her power to shut down everyone. But the turning point came when Becky Lynch, returning from injury, entered last. Old rivals Bianca and Becky worked together, clearing the ring and creating the opening they needed. The finish was loud and decisive, and at the end, Team Bianca secures the victory in the first ever women's WarGames match on the main roster. It was physical, chaotic, and exactly the kind of history-making WarGames moment the women needed and delivered. At 8, The Shield vs. The New Day, Survivor Series 2017. Survivor Series 2017 gave fans a true dream match, The Shield vs. The New Day, two of the greatest trios in WWE history, finally colliding on a big stage crossover night. From the opening bell, both teams treated it like a statement. The New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods try to control the pace with teamwork and speed, forcing the Shield to play catch-up. But once Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose settled in, the match turned into a battle of chemistry versus chaos. New Day's smartest moment came when they trapped Rollins and Ambrose on the outside, repeatedly isolating Reigns with triple team combos. Big E's power and Woods' aggression made it feel like an upset was brewing. Kofi even hit Trouble in Paradise on Ambrose during a crucial stretch that nearly ended it. But the Shield adjusted, regrouped, and flipped the match with their trademark precision. Rollins and Ambrose connected with their double team powerbomb from the top rope, setting up the finish. Moments later, all three members delivered a triple powerbomb to Kofi Kingston, this time from the middle rope for the win. It was a clean, hard-fought clash between two elite trios, and it lived up to the dream match hype. At 7, Raw vs. SmackDown vs. NXT men's elimination match. Survivor Series 2019. Survivor Series 2019 became NXT's coming out party, and the men's elimination match was the exact moment the black and gold brand proved it could hang with and beat WWE's main roster. It happened with stacked lineup. Team Raw, Rollins, Owens, Orton, McIntyre, Ricochet versus Team SmackDown, Reigns, Braun, Corbin, Ollie Gable versus Team NXT, Ciampa, Riddle, Keith Lee, Damian Priest, Gunther. The match exploded right away. Each roster fought with a different identity. Raw relied on star power, SmackDown focused on teamwork, and NXT used unpredictability to control momentum. Kevin Owens teased loyalty to NXT, but stayed with Raw long enough to eliminate Shorty G of Team SmackDown momentum before getting caught himself. Randy Orton hit an RKO out of nowhere to stack the odds, while Matt Riddle shocked him with a quick pin before getting RKO immediately after. The final minutes came down to Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Keith Lee, and this is where Lee became a star. He eliminated Rollins, then pushed Reigns to his limit with incredible power moves. But the Roman Reigns closed the match with a spear to give SmackDown the win. Still, the night belonged to Keith Lee and NXT, proving they were truly main event level. At 6, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown men's elimination match. Survivor Series 2017. Survivor Series 2017 delivered one of the most star-packed elimination matches of the decade. Inside Team Raw, Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H battled Team SmackDown, Shane McMahon, John Cena, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Bobby Roode. From the opening moments, this match felt like an all-star exhibition. Nakamura and Balor kicked it off with a rare crossover showdown. Every combination in the ring was amazing. Orton versus Joe, Cena versus Angle, Braun versus literally anyone. SmackDown looked strong early, but Braun Strowman immediately shifted the momentum by destroying everyone in Team SmackDown. Orton kept SmackDown alive with an RKO on Balor, and Cena briefly turned the tide with attitude adjustment to Angle and Joe before Strowman eliminated him too. The closing stretch became pure drama. Triple H betrayed Kurt Angle by pedigreeing him, giving Shane an opening to try to steal the match. Instead, Triple H dragged Shane's lifeless body, pinned him himself, and pretended it was team strategy. Strowman didn't buy it. After the bell, he dropped Triple H with running power slams, making it clear who the real Survivor was. It was chaotic, crowded, and full of big-name moments. A true modern Survivor Series spectacle. At 5, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown men's elimination match. Survivor Series 2016. Survivor Series 2016 delivered one of the greatest traditional elimination matches WWE has ever produced. Team Raw, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Braun Strowman, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns faced Team SmackDown, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Shane McMahon. This match ran nearly 53 minutes, and every minute felt like a moment. The tension started early when Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles couldn't stay on the same page, allowing Braun Strowman to dominate SmackDown's lineup. One of the match's most memorable moments came when Shane McMahon attempted a coast-to-coast, only to get speared midair by Roman Reigns, knocking him out cold and eliminating him by a referee stoppage. From there, chaos took over. Owens got disqualified for using Jericho's list as a weapon, and Jericho's meltdown over his destroyed clipboard nearly cost Raw the match. Ambrose, Reigns, and Rollins reunited for one brief Shield triple powerbomb on AJ, a massive nostalgia pop that stole the segment. But the ending belonged to Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Working together as a newly formed Wyatt-Orton duo, they outplayed Rollins and Reigns. Orton sacrificed himself to save Bray from a spear, allowing Wyatt to hit Sister Abigail and score the final pin. SmackDown won. Wyatt stood tall, and 2016 delivered a near-perfect Survivor Series main event. Long, chaotic, and full of unforgettable moments. At 4, Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Survivor Series 2015. The main event of Survivor Series 2015 came down to two brothers in arms, Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. With Seth Rollins out due to injury, WWE set up a tournament for the vacant WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and these two former Shield members fought their way through the bracket to meet in the finals. What made this match special wasn't length, it was emotion. Reigns and Ambrose didn't waste a second feeling each other out. They came out swinging, turning the fight into a sprint instead of a slow technical battle. Ambrose targeted Roman's ribs, which had been attacked earlier in the night, while Reigns used his power to shut down Ambrose's burst of momentum. The match's most intense stretch saw Ambrose hit dirty deeds, but Roman kicked out to a huge reaction. Reigns fought back with Superman punch and spear combination, and then he pinned Ambrose to finally win the WWE Championship, his first world title. But the celebration didn't last. Seconds later, Sheamus cashed in his Money in the Bank contract. Brogue kicked Reigns and stole the title in under a minute. This match is remembered for the story. Two brothers fighting for the top prize, Reigns' long-awaited moment, and the heartbreak that hit immediately afterward. At 3, the Bloodline versus Team Brawling Brutes. Survivor Series WarGames 2022. Survivor Series 2022 gave WWE one of the most emotional WarGames matches ever. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn stepped into the double cage against Team Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, Drew McIntyre, and Kevin Owens. This match wasn't just about dominance. It was the breaking point in the Sami Zayn, Jey Uso story that had been building for months. Butch and Jey started the match, immediately clashing with months of tension behind every strike. Jimmy was supposed to enter next, but Roman stopped him and sent Sami Zayn in instead. A huge moment that showed how deeply the tribal chief was testing his loyalty. The match turned into chaos fast. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus used brute force. Kevin Owens targeted Roman Reigns directly, and Solo Sikoa stood out as the unshakable enforcer. One of the match's biggest moments came when Kevin Owens hit a pop-up powerbomb on Reigns and nearly got the win. But the entire match turned on one decision: Sami Zayn stopping the referee from counting Owens' pin, then low-blowing his former best friend. Jey Uso immediately followed with a top rope splash to win the match, completing the moment of acceptance he had fought against all year. For the first time, Jay hugged Sammy. The Bloodline stood united, and that night, WarGames told one of the best family stories WWE has ever produced. At 2, the new Bloodline versus the OG Bloodline. Survivor Series WarGames 2024. Survivor Series 2024 delivered a WarGames match built on family breaking apart. After months of growing tension, miscommunication, and Roman Reigns' absence, the Bloodline officially split into two sides, the OG Bloodline and the New Bloodline, leading to one of the most personal WarGames matches in modern WWE. The New Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu joined them Bronson Reed, entered WarGames determined to prove they were the new leaders of the dynasty. Across the cage stood the OG Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk as their ally, fighting to reclaim the identity Roman built. The match opened with Tama Tonga and Jey Uso, perfectly setting the tone. The New Bloodline used numbers and brutality to control long stretches, especially once Jacob Fatu entered and tore through everyone with reckless power. But the OG side fought back with teamwork and history. Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso hitting their signature double team combos to even the field. The emotional peak came when Jay and Jimmy stood face to face with Solo, family against family, before launching a double super kick that finally dropped him. The finish saw Roman Reigns hit spear on Solo Sikoa after everyone hitting their own finishers on Solo, and the OG Bloodline scored a win. It wasn't just WarGames. It was a family civil war, and the biggest chapter in the Bloodline saga. Last at 1, Team Cena versus Team Authority, Survivor Series 2014. Survivor Series 2014 delivered one of the most high-stake elimination matches of the decade. Team Cena versus Team Authority, a fight with real consequences. If Cena's team won, the Authority would be removed from power. If they lost, every member would be fired. High stakes, real tension, and a packed main event. Team Cena, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Big Show, Eric Rowan, and Ryback versus Team Authority, Seth Rollins, Kane, Mark Henry, Rusev, and Luke Harper. The match exploded from the start. Mark Henry was eliminated in seconds after walking into a knockout punch from Big Show. Rusev dominated early, even wiping out Ryback, but got eliminated when he crashed through the announce table. Then came the turning point. Big Show betraying Team Cena, knocking out Cena, and walking over to join the Authority. Cena was eliminated, and suddenly Seth Rollins had a 3-on-1 advantage against Dolph Ziggler. What followed became the performance of Ziggler's career. He eliminated Kane and Luke Harper and kicked out of Rollins' best shots. Each near fall had the crowd losing their minds. Just as the Authority tried to cheat again, the arena went dark, and Sting made his shocking WWE Survivor Series debut. He took out Triple H, dragged Ziggler onto Rollins, and the referee counted to 3. Team Cena won. The Authority was out, and Ziggler earned the defining moment of his career. That's the countdown. Now it's your turn. Which Survivor Series match should have ranked higher? Comment below and hit subscribe for more wrestling content.